And we are live on YouTube. Hello, welcome. It is Tuesday, obviously, because we are live on YouTube. Uh, welcome to anyone tuning in for our first time. This is our YouTube channel we have for our ministry, BYC, Bethlehem Youth Church. Welcome. Nate, what is that noise in the back? Is that you?
That's me. That was me breathing.
No, wait a second. I did this again. I did this last week.
Oh, when something's playing in a different tab.
It just started playing and I started bugging out. I'm like, one of y'all need to mute your mic, and it's me and I'm the problem. So
Love that.
I apologize.
Dang.
Wow.
This week we are going to be debating some of the most useless debates in life. It's not really that they're useless, but they're just heavily debated things. At the end of the day, you have your opinion and you're not wrong or anything for your opinion, but everyone else will tell you that. So that's what we're here today to do to each other, but in a very loving way. Before we get started with some of these questions we got, I do want to say that we do have small groups that meet every Friday at 7:30 on Zoom for now. But this Friday, there is going to be a prayer rally in front of the, I believe it's one of the, I don't know exactly. It's in Mineola. I think it's in front of the courthouse in Mineola, in that area. Check out our Instagram for more details. We're going to post about it tomorrow. But we're meeting there at 7 o'clock. So instead of tuning into Zoom, we're going to go live on YouTube, and we're going to be at that prayer rally and stuff. So if you guys can make it, we would love to see you there, and we would love to join you there. But if not, come check us out live on Instagram for that. But now I got some of my friends here with me. This is July. Wave. I'm like, I don't know what order this shows in on the other thing. So it's like, that's July, maybe. I don't know who I'm pointing to now.
I think on the YouTube, I'm like below you.
Are you?
Yes.
Whatever.
And then Nate's to the right of you.
See, Nate's below me. Like,
Oop.
whatever. Nate's the other dude, and Danae is the other dude. And July is that dude, and I'm this dude. So
what it do?
Now that we're all acquainted.
all right. So here's how this is gonna work. There's a couple of these questions I just want to know everyone's little opinions on. But then I just thought of, we'll play a little game. I'm just gonna give a topic, and I'm gonna pick two of you to go at each other and debate one side of it. And then I'm gonna pick a winner based on what you guys are able to present to me in about 2 minutes of each argument.
Ooh.
But we'll save that for the end of like a speed round kind of thing. All right. For now, I thought we'd just get into just some debates and see what everyone says. This is one all of my friends yell at me for, and it's caused me to be left out of group chats and conversations because of it. I'm not even kidding. I'm 100% serious. So what are your guys' opinion on the debate of Samsung versus Apple? And I mean phones, computers, whatever Samsung Android devices there are versus Apple's gated community, private property, Apple only thing. Obviously, you know where I'm at. So wherever you guys are at, where do you guys stand?
Apple.
Apple.
Yeah, see.
Go ahead,
Android.
Danae, you can say it. Go ahead. Just say it.
Wait, do you still have a Samsung?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm sorry. Like,
Okay. But see, my thing is, I feel like
Wait a second.
Apple
Time out.
got into tech.
July. Don't
What?
you have an Android?
Yes, I said Android.
Oh, I thought you said Apple before. I'm like, wait
No,
a
I
second.
have a
Homegirl's
Pixel.
got that. Okay. All right.
I'm 100% Team Pixel. But like, my thing is, I feel like Apple, because they got into tech earlier on, everyone kind of started out with Apple phones because that was the only like touchscreen device that was available. But I feel like if Apple wasn't so like mainstream that like everyone has it, so now everyone wants to FaceTime and do all these like Apple specific things, Apple would not be as popular as it is today. It's just because so many people started out with Apple and didn't want to make the switch that people still feel like Apple's supreme when honestly, same level.
I feel like Samsung and like every other phone is just like harder to use. But I guess
Yeah, it feels so crude. It feels
But
so
that's
crude
also
when trying to
because y'all
use
are
them.
used to Apple phones.
yeah,
I was
Have
gonna
you
say
ever switched from a Mac
Samsung
to Windows? It takes time.
Mhm.
the camera's
Windows.
not good.
It's a whole different software. So even the phones are made with like the same software as like the computers. So a Samsung phone is more. It's. I'm trying to say this without being like really offensive and calling you guys lazy, but I guess I just did. So Samsung is the software is a little more advanced and does a lot more than Apple software. So that's why the phones and everything seem more complex to use and get used to, because Apple is a very simplistic device, whether you're on a phone or a computer,
What y'all can do when you
So-
jailbreak, we can do with like APKs.
without jailbreaking and without
just
potentially putting viruses and stuff on our phones.
Well, I don't usually jailbreak my phones. My thing is that like, when I broke like my last phone, I had to temporarily use like a Samsung and like just to message my parents to let them know where I'm at. But using it, not to say that like all Samsungs are slow, but the one I was using, which was like pretty recent, it worked pretty slow. It was like, why is it taking so long to send one tiny message, even when I'm on the Wi-Fi?
I mean,
There
I guess
was,
that's
like, lost
also,
functional at all.
what was that? You cut in and out.
Your voice is like a robot.
What was your last point? I didn't hear your last point.
And like even when I was connected to like Wi-Fi, messages were being still slow no matter what. So
I don't know about that because I mean my texts don't have a problem sending really. I know that Kirby.
Kirby.
What's up? Okay, that's
Stop the video.
whatchamacallit. I guess it's like a thing, the iMessage thing, so it sends faster between iPhones over Wi-Fi like that, the messages. So I guess like if you're used to it, it's different.
Maybe.
Kirby, right now we are debating why I'm trash apparently.
At least we don't have to update our phones every 2 years because they purposefully slow them down.
Well, I don't usually update my phone every 2 years.
Apple stinks.
My phones usually last me for a good amount of time.
All I'm saying is
Apple Music.
between
Yeah,
Spotify.
Apple Music.
Okay, but I still like Spotify better than Apple Music, and I've used them both. Sorry.
You have a wide selection on Apple Music, but okay.
No, you don't. No, you
Yes, you
definitely
do.
not.
Apple
Not
Music is also
really.
way more accessible as well.
Even still, I know a lot of artists who only release on Spotify and they don't come to Apple Music until later.
That's so
So if
annoying.
you're in the
Well, that's
business
their
of
fault.
discovering music,
So now is the discussion Apple Music versus Spotify, or
I think it may have just segued into it.
yeah, we might have.
But-
We just switched.
I just want to make one more point about phones with Samsung and stuff.
Okay.
I don't even know how long
Closing
I've had a
argument.
Samsung. Mom, how long have I had a Samsung phone? I don't know. I've had a Samsung well over, I guess, 6 years now. And in like the 6 years that I've had a Samsung, I think only once have I brought it into a store and have it dealt with the problem. When I had an iPhone, at least once a year, no, I'm sorry, less than that. Once every couple of months was I bringing it into an Apple store to have something fixed on it. And
bro? What do you?
Meanwhile, I still have that
what do you
old
on your phone
iPhone you
that
used to have, and it still works. It works perfectly fine for me.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Curse?
What are you talking about? What do you do with your phone that you need to go to the Apple store every 2 months?
It's a Chris problem at this point.
No,
That's
no,
what
it
I'm
wasn't.
saying. That's
No.
what I'm saying.
If it's a Chris problem, then why did my whole family besides my sister switch from Apple to Samsung?
Chris,
Oop.
I still have that old iPhone you were talking about, and it works perfectly fine for me.
Nate, you are not my family that switched from Apple to Samsung. That wasn't my
I'm
question.
saying, but I'm saying
Also,
though,
I will
that
say
same
this.
old
I
phone.
will say this. If you want like a phone that like can do all like all different things. Like I feel like Samsung, I'm assuming, is like more in depth than an iPhone. Like you can just customize it more.
They are.
Did you guys already mention that?
No, I was laughing at something. My mom said that Apple is a cult.
Ha!
I'm sorry that I just like everything synced up together. My apologies.
I mean, if you want to
Exactly.
just work on like Microsoft and Samsung things, you can basically do the same thing because they all integrate.
Yeah. But all I'm saying also it wasn't a me thing either. It was always like my phone, anytime I would update, I would never have enough storage to update, no matter how many photos I delete, no matter how many apps I deleted, there still wasn't enough storage to update something. And Apple's solution to fixing the storage problem was get the newer phone that just came out.
That is very true.
That's
That's accurate.
So
That's pretty accurate.
You're making valid points, and I'm not gonna lie. It's just because I grew up with an iPhone. Not grew up, but like I've
That's
had
the
an
point that
iPhone
I
for the past
made.
X many years. That if I don't text in blue, honestly, I'm never texting you. And
Exactly.
honestly, that's a bougie thing. I know it is, and I don't care.
Unless you're like a close friend, I'm not texting you if you have an Android. I'll be honest with you. That's what Snapchat's for.
Crit, have you ever texted someone with iPhones in a group chat, but they also have Androids in there? It's literally the worst thing in the world.
I will
Yeah.
say,
Yeah, that's annoying.
I will say, I do.
God.
Whatever's happening, we were just left out.
Anyway, no, it was my mom just got a new freezer, but she was pulling all the plastic off it, and it was really loud. That's my mom.
Hi.
Kirby, what'd you ask me?
I know.
Oh no, I remember. I remember. Yeah, the group chat. I will say, yeah, we suck for that. Because I even get annoyed because with iPhones they have the feature where you can just like
the
something in the
response.
chat without responding.
And then
For
just shows up as a
Samsung
separate message.
users, like Kirby, if I text you and you love what I say and like you react to it like that, I get a whole separate text message that says
Kirby love.
that says Kirby loved,
Yep.
and I get
It's
my
awful.
whole message
The
back.
whole
So-
message in quotes.
Yeah,
Awful.
that's really
It's tough.
annoying. I will say that.
And I'm not gonna lie, if you're not good with like ending conversations, like that for an iPhone is a great thing. Where if you don't know if you gotta pick, okay, like I'll talk to you later or something like that, you just give like a thumbs up and like that's your reply. And you don't
It's like the equivalent to liking someone's reply on Instagram.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a softer way to leave someone on red.
Pretty much. So, do we want to just continue with Spotify versus Apple Music? I didn't even think to go into that, but we segued into it.
We did.
All right, you ready? You ready for me to throw the bomb on all you guys for this one?
All right,
Do it.
hit me.
Do
And
it.
I really don't care. I still listen to Pandora in 2020. I wanted to say I'm one of like 5 people that listen to Pandora.
And one of those 5 people is my father.
And I love it. I'm here for it and I will never stop. I'm not gonna lie.
Johnny, you
The
might be the
only thing-
one person who's carrying that company on your back. You might be carrying that company on your back.
They need to endorse you, dude. That's
They'll
it.
just give him stock.
The only thing I don't like about Pandora, I remember like when that was like one of the top like music streaming platforms and everything. I would play like rock radio station or something, and they would play like one good song, or it was kind of like they would categorize like anything with drums as rock, and like I would want to listen to like some like heavy rock music or something, I'd be getting like 21 Pilots or like Coldplay popping up because it's like alternative, and I'm like, this isn't rock, and I'm like, it's really pissing me off.
Okay, but did you like thumbs down those songs?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay then. After
But-
it takes a while, but it filters out.
Yeah.
Also, okay, let's be real. If you're listening to the radio, right?
Mhm.
And then like one of your favorite songs come on, let's just say it's Neo Miss Independent, right? Let's just say you love that
Okay.
song. It's one of your favorites. And then the thing is, it comes on the radio on Hot 97. You're like, oh, I'm blasting this. It's Neo. They're playing my song. And you blast it. But same thing, if it comes on Pandora, you don't know what's coming next. But if you go on like Apple Music or Spotify and you choose a song, there's not as much joy hearing that song. There's no struggle. You didn't wait for it. You just get whatever you want right away. And there's not as much satisfaction to me.
But that's the point of the shuffle button as well.
I mean,
man, but the thing is, I got Pandora. Pandora's automatic shuffle.
Yeah, but
see,
you also,
that's why I like
it might play
Spotify,
something you
because
don't
I
want to
can
hear.
choose to either listen to the song specifically or to shuffle play, so it'll come up like
Also,
whenever in a playlist.
do you have to pay? Do you have to pay for Spotify? Yes or no?
Yes.
Or do you guys pay for Spotify?
If you want the deluxe version where you get the free skips.
Spotify Premium, yes.
Yes, Spotify Premium.
I'm cool with not paying with Pandora. I'm cool with it.
Fair.
I just gotta struggle
I know,
with it.
like, I have the free version of Spotify, but I also do a lot of my music listening in my room. And when you use Spotify connected to a Chromecast or in the web version, you still have like a lot of the freedoms. You just don't have as many skips.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a subscription to both. But that's because my family uses the Spotify one. I use the Apple Music one because I pay for that.
I'm
one
like,
on
what are you doing?
Oh, I'm not
Like,
gonna lie.
Yeah, I
Yeah, my
was like,
sister
why?
has Apple Music, so I use that at times.
my own.
Yeah, my sister has Apple Music too.
I like Apple. It's there already installed on my phone.
I love Spotify. Spotify
Yeah.
all the way. I listen, Curbs, I hear you on the whole shuffle thing, but like, dude, Spotify, like it literally works for you. So like it makes playlists for you that
My
it's
daily
like,
mixes are always.
they make a daily mix all the time. They make different playlists. They show you
I
like
get that on Apple Music too.
you get like new music.
Apple Musics
for
aren't
you.
as good.
I'm on Spotify right now. They have all these different podcasts. They have web series. They have like all these like they have like not movies, but they have like it's kind of like I don't even know what it's like. I guess like a podcast, but with a video. But it's like I don't know how to explain it on Spotify. I don't know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
Spotify's
I know
partnered
what
with
you mean.
Genius.
What?
Spotify's partnered with Genius.
Oh yeah, and they do the whole thing with like behind the song
The
thing.
breakdowns and everything.
Yeah. So they give you the
Look,
lyrics and like
I'm gonna be right back
behind
because
them.
Vinny's calling me.
Oh, okay. Mute your mic. Oh, just hang up. Okay.
Dang, all right. Tell him we're on live.
Okay. That works too. So I mean they got music all the way back from like, and then they have all these like musical like instrumental playlists. They got everything. But I understand your Pandora thing, but the whole thing with the shuffle, I don't know if I can really give that one to you because like July said, if you just have a playlist or you put it on shuffle, I mean, it's like the same thing. You know what songs are on the radio station. You just don't know what's coming up. Like I know what songs are in my playlist. I don't know what songs can come up next. So I can be just as excited as if it's on the radio.
Like on Hot 97, you don't know what you're gonna get. Sometimes they do like a big throwback. Sometimes they do like a 2000s. Like it's okay. I'm cool. I'm cool with all the hate. I'm okay. I'm fine.
All right, yeah, that's Pandora works. And then I don't know, even with like Spotify, like the free version, I can't handle ads. I can't do that. Like even when I drive, I have the GPS voice shut off because hearing that voice just pisses me off so fast. So
you just want everything given to you freely. You don't want to work hard for it. You don't want.
Wait. How do you get that out of this?
Just, whoa.
Where does that come from?
Whoa.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. You don't want to.
You're the one with the simplistic software in an iPhone, so I mean, I don't want to work for anything. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, shots are being fired, guys. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Hey, you know what? That one hurt a little bit. I didn't appreciate that. Chris. Thank you. Oh, you guys want to see something funny?
What?
Actually, never mind. No, I'm in my classroom. So when I was in here last, I had to do a dance, and literally I wrote down the steps. So don't know what dance that is, but it's some dance. I know
I was
that.
gonna say, is that a TikTok?
Some TikTok dance, yeah.
I was gonna say something, I forgot. Oh, I was gonna say there was one summer
Right.
Kirby. What?
I gotta be right back.
Okay,
Gotcha.
sounds good.
Right.
All right. Kirby and I just said almost just said Kirby in July because I was looking at July's screen. Kirby and I were in Guatemala on a mission trip, and one of the staff that was there, we were like hanging out one night, and they were like, "Oh, let's play a game," kind of thing, right? So we had to play a game where we each had like a bunch of items on an index card,
Okay.
and you had to get the other person to like guess what was on the index card using
Yeah. Yeah.
like maybe like 2 words or like some type of clue, or you couldn't say the actual word. So it was me versus Kirby. So like I was playing with a partner and Kirby was the other one, and we stressed out the staff so hard because Kirby and I were so competitive against each other that like the 4 of us were sweating playing a game where all we did was read names of things off a card because that's how competitive we were getting. And then at the end of it, Kirby and I got into our own little debate argument thing
Mhm.
that ended up in us shouting. We were like yelling at each other, but Kirby and I knew it wasn't serious, but the staff didn't. And they were genuinely concerned.
You guys were gonna like kill each other.
Yeah, they thought we were gonna fight. And then we were laughing at one point and like we hugged each other at the end and they were so confused. They were relieved we didn't fight each other. So that was
That's great.
that was a good memory. Well, Nate and Kirby are gone, but
Rest in peace.
Yeah, like
A moment of silence for our fallen friends.
let's talk about this. I'm curious to know, but I'm also like I'm afraid to know because if I know this and if it's like one of the like I don't. Do you guys sleep with socks on?
No. None.
Okay,
knew
good.
a
Never.
kid, he was like, I cannot go to sleep unless I'm wearing socks, like knee-high socks.
You're
That's
kidding.
Weird. Yeah, so no, I don't sleep
No.
with socks on, and I think it's really weird if you do. But I'm not judging.
I-
It's just weird.
Most of the time, I can't even fall asleep if I have socks on. But literally, ever since I was a kid, even if I went to bed wearing socks, I'd wake up without them
Yeah,
because
they'd
at
be
some point during the night, I'd take them off.
Yeah,
Plus you're
no.
pregnant.
I know my
That's
feet get
weird.
cold, so sometimes during the winter, like if it's cold and I go to bed in shorts, sometimes I need the socks just for a little bit while I'm under the blankets until my legs can warm up. But then they come off.
No, that's weird. I've always said like only serial killers sleep with socks on.
Yes.
I can go to sleep. I have to go
No.
to sleep sometimes with them on, but once I'm warm,
Yeah, I
I
don't
can
do
take
that.
them off.
Could never. My sister's one of those weirdos. She always sleeps with socks, and I'm like, I don't understand how you do it. I really don't. Not even like
Sister
comfort socks, like the
is-
comfort socks. None.
You guys like sleeping in the hot or the cold?
Well, I like having a blanket.
Yeah,
No,
I
but I mean like
too.
right now we're in June, July. Like, do you want to sleep with like no air conditioner in like a 90-degree room or something like that?
That's me
If
right
it's at the point where I'm like sweating, then no. But like I'm down being in a tank top and shorts with like a sheet over me and like warm.
now.
You know, I don't need like the AC blasting to be comfortable.
See, I do. I was talking to this with my friend Gabby the other day, and she
Yeah.
said that like she likes to sleep in the heat to the point where like she wakes up sweating because she wants to feel like she's on like an island in like
Gabby's a
tropical
little weird.
paradise. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, no. I just like to be like warm. I never like being or feeling cold or chilly. It's just like uncomfortable. And then I'm one of those people, as soon as I get cold, it takes a really long time for me to warm up. And like my hands and feet are constantly cold. So I prefer to be warm, but not like hot.
yeah, no, I'm a cold person for sure.
You're not a cold person.
What?
You're not a cold person.
It's funny because I have the like actual YouTube live open on the side.
Oh,
And so it's slightly delayed. And so I'll see myself out of the corner of the eye doing something and I'm like, when did I do that? But it was like 5-6 seconds ago.
that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else I got. Okay. Do you guys prefer Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks. But I like both of them. Honestly, I wouldn't care
Mm.
if like they were right next to each other. Like, I don't know. Like, they're both good. I like their iced tea. Dunkin' Donuts has good iced tea.
Well, I mean, here's
Well,
the thing.
I
If
take
I'm-
like, I don't know. If we're comparing menu items, like I'd rather like a refresher than a Dunkin' tea.
I was gonna say, like, if we're just going straight coffee, I think Dunkin's trash. They never have good coffee. But like, and if I'm going iced tea, I'm just getting an Arizona. That's
Fair
how
enough.
that goes.
Yeah.
But I do like Starbucks's refreshers or like the passion tea lemonades. Those are
Mhm.
bomb.
Wait, speaking of iced tea though, where do we stand on Arizona and Snapple?
Arizona, any day.
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah. I don't care that Snapple is from Long Island. Like,
Arizona's 99 cents.
thank
Ooh.
you.
Big.
Anytime you have
Something-
money and like you don't know what to do with it, or there's like, what
When you
can
just
you do
find
with
a
it?
dollar.
It's like, I have $20. What is it? Bro, that's 20 Arizonas right there. Like, you don't know what you have. Like, that's how you measure it. Yeah, you get quarters or loose change, bro. That's in Arizona.
Paying
That's
for
it.
an Arizona in quarters is a vibe, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Just slamming 4 quarters on the counter like.
Arizona.
What? Yeah, that was funny. All right. I guess Nate's on a long phone call.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think is the best cereal? Best cereal out there?
Okay, full disclosure, I was a deprived child, so I haven't even had all the good ones yet. But I vibe with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch used to be my favorite, but I'm not really a big fan of cinnamon anymore. I think
That's
my
sad.
favorite is either Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch.
Do you like
I've
Fruity
had-
Pebbles because it looks like very bright and colorful?
No, I
Okay.
like, my grandma used to buy like boxes like when we were younger, and I used to have like 5 bowls at a
Oh
time.
my
Like,
gosh.
I don't put any milk in it because I like when it's like crunchy. Only
Yeah.
Pebbles. Only
Fruity Pebbles get soggy really easily.
Yeah, but I also like when it's soggy. Sometimes I would let it sit until it's just like
Ugh.
clumps.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
know
no.
about
As
that
soon
one.
as it gets a little droopy, it's gonna be a no-go for me.
Yeah, no, that's
Might as well just drink a smoothie then.
I used to love Captain Crunch until you would eat it, and why is a small little cereal so sharp and pointy? Bro, I used to, yes, it is, dude. I used to cut my mouth on those things all the time.
Again,
Maybe your
it's
Captain Crunch had glass in it or
Chris.
something.
not the
What?
cereal.
Wait, what, Danae?
I said once again, this is a Chris problem, not like the thing.
No, there
itself.
is no Chris problem thing that's been going on here. Okay. All right.
It's not sharp.
It is. Yo, I'll
understand.
call Nathaniel right now. Nathaniel will agree with me hands
Well,
down. 'cause he
Nathaniel
has
would
said the
always agree
same
with
thing.
you.
Nah, no, he won't. Nah,
On something like this, though,
nah, because if I would have gotten him on here versus the Samsung and Apple thing, forget it. He's the number one like person that just like wants me dead for it. And it's just
dang.
you know what? I'm gonna ask Kirby and see what
I
he
can
thinks.
totally see Nathaniel eating some crunch and something cut him in the mouth though.
Yeah. It's,
Like,
all right, Curbs. So I want to know what one you think the best cereal is, but then 2, I want to know if you've ever had Captain Crunch, and if you have, has it ever like cut your mouth a bit,
you
or
in the
like feel
mouth
like
eating
it's
it.
sharp a little bit? And now wait a second.
Okay.
Let's not exaggerate something like Danae. I'm not talking about sharp like a knife, like a blade.
I know
but-
what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I'm assuming we're talking about like kid cereal, because like now that I'm an adult, I really don't eat like Fruit Loops or Captain Crunch really that much anymore. I'm kind of a loser with Cheerios. But
I like Cheerios.
Cheerios aren't
I
bad.
would say when I was a kid, my favorite one, no, it was definitely Captain Crunch. The one that was like mixed with the berries, like had the yellow like flakes or corn in it, and then also had the berries as well. They came out with a new one called Oops All Berries, but like I'm just gonna play that like struggle like card. I appreciate the struggle. I hated the yellow corn, what that tasted like in a Captain Crunch. I don't know why I hated that one. So I ate all of those first, and then I saved all the berries at the very end to reward myself. So, did I got food from my mouth a couple times while eating Captain Crunch? 100%. But was it always worth the struggle every single time? Yes, it was. And I am not going to be ashamed of cutting myself because
Josh in the comments
at the
is
end.
very excited
Danae-
to say that Fruity Pebbles are the best.
Danae is telling me that it's another one of these Chris problem things, and it's not the cereal's fault. It's my fault. And I'm highly shutting that down.
I mean, I've never had the issue, but I guess it can be valid.
I disagree.
Hold on, who said Fruity Pebbles?
Danae. That's Danae's favorite cereal. That's
We're
like
talking about cereal now.
Yeah.
Oh, if you really want to get an argument going, do you guys put the milk in before the cereal or cereal before milk?
this shouldn't
Cereal
even be a
first.
discussion.
Cereal before
Cereal
milk.
first.
Cereal. This shouldn't be an argument. Shouldn't be an argument.
Yeah.
Do you guys all like soggy cereal? Real question.
No,
Do you
Kirby,
want-
don't
Why?
do this to me, bro. You're not on this side.
No, please tell
I'm
me that you
asking,
don't
do
put
you
the milk
like
first.
soggy cereal?
No, I don't.
Cereal to milk
didn't ask that question.
displacement.
No,
Do you
red
guys
cereal
like
stays
soggy
fried
cereal?
cereal first.
Okay, so my thing is, if you put the cereal in first and then the milk, you are on a time crunch. You cannot step away. You can't look at anything, can't hold a conversation. You are on a time crunch because if you go over the threshold of like 3 minutes, that is now soggy cereal. If you're eating Fruity Pebbles, you like literally have 30 seconds to eat that or it will be soggy. So for me, I don't like soggy cereal. So I put the
Well-
milk in first, pour the top layer to cover the surface, dip it so it's a little milky but still all crunchy, and just repeat the process. I do that also because I can read the back of the box, I can play the little game, I can take my time. If I need to do something in between, I just finish a little layer that I have and then go back to it later in 2 minutes. No soggy
What?
problems at all.
2 minutes? Come on now.
How long
I
do you
don't-
need?
You're telling me you
I'm
never
not
got
taking
called
a-
while eating cereal. You're telling me you
I've
never had
never
to do
gotten a
anything
call while
in the
eating
world
cereal.
while eating cereal.
Even
No, I
if I
don't.
did, like, I'll take this. You just can't.
Yeah.
And then
just-
and then you end up
yeah.
with a disproportionate amount of milk because do you really know how much milk you're gonna need to balance out your cereal if you're putting milk
Mm.
first? There's no way to rationalize how much cereal to put on top of milk to make sure that they're even. It's just wrong.
I've
So, okay, so you're saying that you put the exact, so you say at the end of your bowl, you have no milk left. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
See, the thing is, I kind of appreciate the milk, especially when I was a kid. I appreciated the milk at the end because I got to drink.
So then you pour
Captain
more
Crunch
milk
milk.
than you know that you'll need after you put the cereal in the bowl.
Yeah, I'm willing to die on the hill. I'm willing to die on that hill. Like Pandora, I'll give you Pandora. Like Pandora's crap. We all know that. But like cereal, no. I cannot do cereal. I cannot.
Dang.
yeah, no, I've
No, Johnny, that was a bad take, man.
I
Also-
mean, if that's what you feel. I'm gonna let
at
you
the end of the
rock.
day, disclaimer, at the end of the day, all these things that we are debating comes down to people's opinions and nobody is wrong for their
Mhm.
opinion.
Yes.
Just put a disclaimer out there.
I needed that. Thank you.
That's we're not wrong and we don't love you any less for it, I promise.
Exactly.
Do we judge you slightly more? Maybe.
Little
Yes,
We don't love you
Yes,
less.
100%.
But it's-
100%.
100%.
whatchamacallit. Oh, Kirby, be careful. I know you're driving, but I know you're a master of.
I'm not. I don't look
doing
really at you
things.
guys.
Guys,
mean-
1 sec, Vinny is calling me.
I mean, you have your whole car jams
Why
while
is it
driving.
Yeah, your whole
so
car jam series, you know. I
It
know
just
it's important to
amazes
keep
me
that
how
up.
you have not been pulled over yet for it. So
Yeah, it does seem a bit dangerous when you film.
What? Okay, I won't look at you guys. Okay, I'm sorry.
well, I just want you to be careful because that's it. Okay. This is a good one while July's on the phone because I know July doesn't play video games too much. But do you guys prefer PS4 or Xbox?
I've played PS4 a
I'm-
couple times and I've enjoyed it. I haven't had a bad experience with it, but since I'm an Xbox guy, I have to say Xbox.
Yeah,
I would.
Xbox longer. Like all my systems that I've gotten are Xbox, but I like
Mhm.
the PS4 because I feel like the graphics are a lot better.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but either or. But I'm gonna say Xbox just because I grew up like playing Xbox with my friends.
Finally, someone else
Yeah,
who
I
agrees
think-
with me.
No, and I would say the same thing. Like, I would say I can't really say for the Xbox versus like the PS1, but I think the 360 and the PS2 came out at the same time, and I think I definitely enjoyed the 360 more. But
Yeah.
I've always had like an Xbox system. But I would definitely say PS4 is a better system. But honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend over $200 for it because I barely play the Xbox One that I have now, so it's just not worth it. For me.
Right. The only thing
I
for me that
feel you.
PlayStation would be worth it for is the exclusive games that you can't get on Xbox.
But yeah, I would say PS4 is probably better.
hmm
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've had PlayStation all my life. That was like my friends
PlayStation.
growing up, like PS1, PS2, like that's what we had growing up. So like I've played an Xbox at like my friends' houses and stuff, but like I grew up having PlayStation always. So I've always been.
Did you
I've
ever have a
always been playing. A what?
PSP?
I did actually. Unfortunately,
Those are great.
I loved the PSP. I absolutely loved it. There were so many good games for it, and I would play it all the time. And mine got stolen out of my dad's car one time. So
Ah, damn.
very, very, very
Did they
sad.
break
I would
break the window to
say-
get it?
No, I think they were like they were skilled at it because there was nothing
Ah.
broken. We just
Dang.
went to the car the next day and everything was gone. So
That's crazy. Wow, that's ridiculous.
I
Yeah.
would say the PSP
sting?
was like way ahead of its time.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like it came out too early.
Yeah. Well, no,
Because
because
now,
you
like,
still have the
people are
Game
playing,
Boy.
like-
The Game Boy and the DS were out before.
Yeah, but
that.
the Game Boy and the DS, like the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Advance, like SP and stuff came out, and like that was still ahead of like a PSP time. I feel like if PlayStation would have kept that in like their back pocket low key and dropped it now with the Switch out,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know.
It would be.
That's what I'm saying. Because you could bring the Switch places.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
like the
that-
PSP though. The PSP was fun.
I'm not gonna lie, low key. I've tried looking on like eBay or like Amazon or like to see how cheap they are and stuff like that. I've seen a couple of pretty cheap ones, like about $1.50 and stuff like that, and I've been tempted to get one.
A
I almost-
PSP?
Yeah, bro. I'm like, yeah.
You
Did
ever
it
think
even
about
cost
PS Vita?
150 when they came out originally?
Yeah, they were expensive.
Yeah,
They
they
were.
were not cheap.
Well, I mean, now it's like no one
You know,
like getting games is probably like pretty difficult, but like
Mhm.
I'm so
I would
sad
still.
because I led my friend my PSP in high school.
Did they
She
steal
wanted
it?
to play it, and she never gave it back. And I lent her all of my games, and she
Ah,
it.
she scammed
was
you.
like, I just want to play for. She never gave it back, and I'm so sad.
Who is this? Who is this? We need to find out who she is.
Yeah, yeah. Put her on blast right now.
Some girl can be sad, but nah, it's alright. More than I did.
Well, that's because we don't have it now to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I had the best games. I had Little Big Planet. I had Loco
Aw.
Roco. I had Kingdom Hearts. What else did I have?
Kingdom
Oh, I had
Hearts.
Lego Batman. Lego
Lego
Batman.
Batman was fire.
Good. Oh,
No, Lego Star Wars were the best Lego series there was. Lego Star Wars were legit. I was looking on the PlayStation Store last night or whatever, and just scrolling through things. They had a couple of throwbacks where they had Ratchet and Clank on there for sale. I don't know if y'all ever played Ratchet and Clank. They had Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoot and Crash Bandicoot Racing.
Oh, I was a fan of it.
Yeah. And then I'm really mad it's only exclusive to like the Switch right now, I think, but they brought back Spyro,
Spyro.
little dragon,
Mhm.
the little purple dragon curves.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said no. I thought you didn't know. Yeah, yeah. That was a good game. I really enjoyed that.
Mm.
All right, let's see. This was Nate's question. Nate said this one, so I'm curious. I know Kirby's stance on this one, but do you guys prefer Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
Laurel, you're in the camera, Laurel.
No one likes KFC.
No one likes KFC.
No one likes KFC.
No one likes KFC. I feel like only the older generation likes KFC.
No,
That-
I prefer KFC rather than Popeyes.
do you really?
Nah, you're definitely just saying that. There's no way.
Lunch boxes they used to give you, and it came with a roll up, and it was like a little kitty thingy. Do you remember that?
I do. Low-key, those fruit roll-ups were the best parts. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, no.
KFC mac and cheese is so good.
Mm,
Not better than Popeyes.
well,
Eh.
Kirby, you're muted. So I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just every way, shape, or form. It's Chick-fil-A over everything. That's just
Mm.
I'm not
Okay.
a big fan of Chick-fil-A.
Okay, the thing is, if we're talking about all around, like overall, it has to be Chick-fil-A, because also you got to throw customer service in there. Like how
Okay,
you're telling
I
me you
can
never
understand
went
that.
ordered Popeyes and you try to get dark meat and be like, hey, it's gonna be another 15 minutes for dark meat, and you're like, man, I just want shit. Like you never get that at Popeyes. I mean, at Chick-fil-A, you're literally in like a 30-car drive-through and you're out of there in 5 minutes.
I don't know
So-
about that now.
that's true. That's true.
But like,
And-
if we're going just off chicken, I think the chicken sandwich from Popeye is really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm,
So wait, have
mhm.
you had
You know,
both? Have
like,
you
the
had
thing-
both the spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes and Chick-fil-A?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So the thing is, I really think that Popeyes, they don't care about you. They really don't care about your health.
They
care if
don't,
you got
but
tomorrow
no one.
with all the greasy that they put on there. Like that, Popeyes is like your grandma just made that, and that tastes literally like the best thing on earth.
Like the lady in the commercials. That's what makes me go to Popeyes.
Exactly. But Chick-fil-A, she cares about your well-being. Like she's
But
not
I
gonna
don't
make
see no
chicken
Chick-fil-A
that's gonna
commercials,
kill you
though.
in 5 hours. Like they don't do
I don't
that.
see no Chick-fil-A commercials though.
Chick-fil-A is so salty though.
That's
I
how great
would-
Chick-fil-A is. They don't need commercials.
I was just gonna argue that. I was just gonna say that Chick-fil-A is so elite that they don't need to put themselves out there on your TV platform.
Bro,
like
Chick-fil-A's closed one day a week and still outsells Popeyes.
that.
Okay.
And Kanye West made a song about them.
Yeah, but no one likes that song. So
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't see Popeyes having a song anyway, so Popeyes
Popeyes
doesn't
doesn't
even
need a
have a
song.
song for people not to like.
Popeyes doesn't need a song.
Oh man. All right, I gotta go take care of the kids. Not my kids, my niece and nephew. Just have to clarify that. But yes, I will say Chick-fil-A because of the experience. But if I'm just going one piece of chicken, I'd probably go Popeyes because you can get more things, I think, as well.
Mhm.
Hey Kirby, having
Yeah.
you on the live, it was our pleasure to have you on the live.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you, sir. Thank you. It was my pleasure. It was my
It was
pleasure to be here.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Later, homie. I knew that would get him to laugh. All right. July's still on the phone. Dope. All right. We had a couple more different things. I guess this is just more of like what you grew up on.
It's more or less like preference at this point. Yeah.
Did you guys would you prefer Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network.
And I mean old Cartoon Network, good Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network, most definitely.
What'd you say, Danae?
It's a Cartoon Network.
Oh,
But Nickelodeon does have like Zoe 101 and then Drake
They
and
had
Josh.
classics. Nickelodeon was hitting us with classics.
And then the Temple, that Temple one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
wait.
Love.
Oh, what? Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Yeah.
That one you heard my voice crack. That was
Strawberries. Wasn't that Nickelodeon?
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also had that one other game show where you had to climb that mountain at the end, and that show was really good.
TikTok where it's like, if you're gonna call me wild, put Thornberry in front of it. And it's
Bro, that was my boy Donnie, man. He was the best.
I love.
That
Yeah,
show
that
was
was-
great.
that
That
was
show was
good.
legendary.
I would pick Nickelodeon, honestly. Like the one thing swaying is Drake and Josh. Like
That's because you reference them all the time.
that, dude. Honestly, that was like Drake and Josh like raised me. Like they taught me different principles on what to do and stuff, which sometimes isn't the best. But I
So
mean,
weird that like the humor back then was so like it was genuinely funny. Like
Yeah.
You can.
rewatched
There are a
it,
lot of stuff then though you could get away with that you can't get away with now. They said a
know,
lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff.
there was the
But,
same
like,
thing on both. Yeah.
weird. Because like you watch the shows now. Well, I don't watch the shows now on Nickelodeon stuff, but like the humor's horrible. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah.
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 I don't understand.
They're different creators and it's different. It's not the same.
That's what Teen Nick is for though.
Even,
You
but
can go
what's on
back and
Teen
watch.
Nick now?
All the old shows.
So
I don't watch
is it,
TV.
I don't want, honestly, unless it's like live sports at this point, I really don't watch TV.
I don't
can
go. I
respect
don't
that.
like never.
I'm only watching like regular TV if it's like if I'm going out of the way for it, and it's that rarely ever happens anymore.
The only time I'm watching like TV is on New Year's when the ball drops. Like,
How do you get informed, Danae? How do you get informed?
well, the
Bro,
it's not every single day in my home. I wake up to it. But other
That-
than that, but I can get informed on my phone, you know?
yeah, they give you all the news
Sure.
stuff on your phone. Fox 5 is a freaking app, so there's like news 12
Twitter.
and all
I
that.
get most of my news from Twitter though. So.
I don't use
Twitter, yeah, all of those.
Did not use Twitter.
There's
You
been
gotta get on Twitter. You gotta get on Twitter.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've died off of Twitter. Like Twitter is like
I've-
that's not fun anymore.
I've
Twitter was,
fallen back in love with Twitter.
but like I deleted
Hello,
it like
welcome back.
5 years ago.
Hello.
Back. But it was just like it got like so scary. Like I would tweet something like, I love the color green. And then there would be like 50 people attacking me saying there was something wrong with me saying I like the color green. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just deleting this whole app because
Or you
I
get
don't
canceled for saying that you love the color green.
liking the color green. Like, so I just, goodbye Twitter. Not it for me.
I feel you.
I can
There's
respect
been
that.
Drake and Josh, like the two, like Josh Peck and Drake Bell, they're on Vine. Not Vine, wow.
TikTok?
Josh used to be on
Vine.
Vine, but now they're both on like TikTok. So they both like do like some of the challenges or different things, but they keep referencing back to like Drake and Josh, the TV show, and it's the best thing in the world to see.
That's
There was
amazing.
there was one where it was like Drake was sitting on this couch watching TV and he was like laughing and he goes, I love this show. And it was him watching Drake and Josh. And it was great. So yeah, I would Drake and Josh does it for me. Do you sell guitars here? Gee, at Guitar World? Man, I don't know. I can go check the back if you want. I mean, like it was great. It was Megan.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. What else do I have on my list? All right, you know what? Here's the thing. We got 10 minutes left.
All right.
10 minutes.
10
Okay.
minutes.
And in this 10 minutes, I'm going to bring up a debate that I had with Nate Moore this Friday. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Now, here is some context, and then we will deliberate. So I want to know, what is a better love story? Edward Scissorhands or Romeo and Juliet?
I never
Okay.
watched Your Hands.
Why does nobody watch that movie?
Because
Well,
it's an
I
obscure
love
reference that only you think of all the time.
It is not
Yeah.
obscure reference, fool.
I
Are
just
you
Yes,
kidding
it
me?
is.
It
Okay.
is one
It
of Johnny Depp. I keep saying Johnny Depp. It is one of Tim Burton's, one of his most popular movies. Yeah, make a
Yeah.
weird face. Like, give me a
No,
break.
no, no.
It's no, not you, Janae. I was looking at Nate. My bad. I don't know where your face is,
in
and like
it.
the other one.
I don't know where your face is.
I don't know, because on mine it's different than I don't know what you see, whatever. But here, Nate. I'm gonna give my argument first. I'm gonna give my argument
Okay.
for 2 minutes, and then you'll drop yours, and then Janae, who is that?
Cardboard cutout of Johnny Depp.
Oh, I was
amazing.
like, wait, what?
Did you steal that from the AMC?
I did. Well, I didn't steal it. They were throwing it out, so I took it.
Sounds like something I do, honestly. Like the people
Anyway.
who collect like the marble cutouts from movie
Yeah.
theaters.
I have Thor in my closet. Thor's in my closet.
Stop.
With his swords, he's just like. And then I have Jake Gyllenhaal when he was in Spider-Man, and he's
Yes.
in my.
I love
Some
Jake
of the-
Gyllenhaal.
Janae's got
Him
that.
on
Really?
Broadway, gorgeous.
He's on Broadway.
He had a
What was he
play
in?
running back in September. Like I think it ran from September to December.
What was he in?
It was gorgeous.
Anyway, I'll give you guys a quick debriefing of what Edward Scissorhands is.
Scissorhands is.
Oh, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. There were a lot of people on Friday that also did not know what this movie was about. So I'm just gonna explain it. I have a DVD somewhere here. Now something you need to understand about the movie.
Chris, you gotta explain what a DVD is first.
If you, yeah, right. If you do go and watch the movie, it's a bit of like a quirky movie, and it does get a little difficult to sit through just because it is like very kind of like cringy. But that's because in the mind of Tim Burton, he is exposing different ways of life, and he's trying to show how much everyone is really the same person and everything, and he's trying to show how much of what we think is normal, and like how much just people just go along with the flow of things, nobody is ever like truly themselves, sort of thing. So it kind of takes place in this weird looking town that kind of looks like something from like the Cat in the Hat. It looks exactly like the Cat in the Hat's town. It's very much like that. But this boy, his name is Edward, obviously, and he has the scissor hands. His father made him like that. His father was like a scientist, creator thing, but he was a little whacked out. So Edward Scissorhands, he winds up like running away from his dad and everything because they just didn't get along. If you watch the movie, it makes sense. But he ran away from his dad, and he just ended up in this town. So obviously, he's this boy that has scissors for hands, so he's obviously going to stick out of a crowd. And this one family, the mother like sees him there, is concerned, like takes him in, pretty much just like adopts him into her family. The full family is like not having him at first. They like reject him and everything. And the daughter, he winds up falling in love with the daughter and everything. But like the whole town is like, this man's gonna kill someone. He's got like blades for fingers, kind of like he's gonna kill someone. And then like, so Edward goes around and he starts like cutting people's bushes and makes like all different designs and different things out of their bushes. So he's trying to do good and stuff, but he winds up messing up just because he has no social interaction skills. He has none of these things. And he's got scissors for hands. So the daughter is dating this one dude who just completely bullies and just really just like diminishes Edward and stuff like that. And long story short, the girlfriend at first wants nothing to do with Edward. And she like sees how bad he's being treated, and she comes to then also fall in love with Edward. And in the end, like there was one night where her boyfriend, they were like trying to do something to him or whatever, and Edward was just protecting her and accidentally kills her boyfriend. And then after that, he runs away. And the movie concludes with this old woman telling a story to like this little girl, and it's pretty much it's the girlfriend that grew up to be old, like narrating the whole movie, like telling the little kid the story of her love between her and Edward. Okay, so that's pretty much how it ends, and it comes full circle on things. So not Romeo, I'm gonna get there in a second. Edward Scissorhands, if you look at it, presents a strong case to be very similar to Beauty and the Beast, okay, where you have Belle, who is a prisoner in the Beast's castle. Beast is this ugly creature or something, but the only difference is Beast had to learn how to love himself before he can love someone else, and Belle came to love Beast for who he was instead of how he looked. Same concept here. This girl saw Edward as like an outcast, like a freak kind of much, but she came to learn to love who he was and how caring he was as a person, and that's where they were connected. So that's where I think Edward Scissorhands is better than Romeo and Juliet. Nate thinks Romeo and Juliet's better, so I'll let him explain why his part of Romeo and Juliet he thinks it is, and then we can go from there. Nate, go for it.
Well, personally, I believe Romeo and Juliet's better for a couple of reasons. Number one, Edward Scissorhands, the fact that he was staying with the girlfriend's family, that kind of sounds a bit like incest. I mean, of course they're not directly related, but they practically were siblings at a point. If they were staying with each other for a long period of time, that could be considered as incest. If you're staying with someone for long enough, you're practically part of that family at that point. That could be considered as incest in a sense. If you're spending that much time with them and you're obviously not in a relationship, but you're with that family for that long, staying with them, that kind of could be considered as such. Plus, don't you think it would be weird with the family thinking that, hey, this guy who randomly just started staying with us with scissors for hands is sleeping with our daughter or being with our daughter? That would be kind of a bit questionable. My thing with Romeo and Juliet is the fact that I'm kind of biased because it's taught to us in school. All right, it's a Shakespeare. It's a masterpiece. Now, of course, it is a tragic ending due to the fact that they both end up killing themselves because of a lack of communication. But wasn't there a whole lack of communication between the whole town and Edward Scissorhands? Because he had scissors for hands? Wasn't there?
No, what? All right, let's go back and just touch on a couple of things. First of all, the amount of time that you live with a person does not then make something become incest. I do understand the concept of what you're getting at, as like, you know, you have like some of your friends that have like been friends for so long that you become like a family friend, and it would just be like, it would be weird if you two were so. All right, for example, my one friend Gabby, I grew up with her my entire life. Okay, she's been one of my best friends forever. We have traveled together. We have we've done almost everything everywhere we go out. Like we're all friends with like the same friends and stuff like that. So if the two of us ever like it would be really weird if the two of us like talked about like dating or anything like that. Not because of anything. Gabby is an amazing woman who deserves nothing less than the world, but we just grew up as friends. So if we were to potentially like if someone were to do that, it could get weird. I get that. But nowhere and anywhere in our relationship of us getting to be that closest to where we are now do we now qualify this as incest. Incest is strictly between two blood-related siblings. Even honest to God, like we're gonna go into this really weird thing really quick. Even if you are step siblings, that's not incest because you're not bound by the same blood. You are not
talking about this
because Nate said that because like it can be considered incest that Edward and the girlfriend and everything like that, because Edward came into the family and was living there for a long time. That's not at all what incest means. That's not at
Well,
all.
Okay, incest was probably the wrong word, but I mean, it would still be very weird for that relationship to
It
have
would kind of
happened.
be weird, yes, but I think that I would like Edward Scissorhands better just because at the end of Romeo and Juliet, they both die. So it's just kind of tragic, but at least there's like some hope in Edward Scissorhands because like she's telling the story and she's like, yes, this is what happened to me and this was love. Both is
Yes,
hard.
but they loved each other to the point where they would die for each other.
Okay,
That's
but no,
what
wait a
Okay.
second. Wait, no.
First of
No,
all,
they weren't. It wasn't like to the point of like, their families found out and their families were just like, oh, I'm gonna kill him. It's either me or him. Pick, and we pick him, and then they were killed.
Romeo
like-
and Juliet did not love each other so much that they died for each other. They just loved each other enough that they didn't want to live without one another, which is different. And to me,
Explain how it's different. Explain how that's different, because now you really got me heated now.
okay, if I say like I'm gonna take a bullet for you, that's different than I'm gonna like not want to live anymore if you die. It's very different. One is saying that I'm
Totally.
gonna sacrifice myself for your well-being. The other one is literally like I don't want to be on this earth without you. Those are two totally different concepts. I would still go with Edward Scissorhands. Sorry, stronger case.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Romeo and Juliet. When they listen, Shakespeare. I don't know. He's.
Romeo and Juliet wasn't even one of Shakespeare's best works, though.
I don't even remember all of them, to be honest, because like back then I really just didn't care. I really didn't understand Shakespeare too much. So, but I mean, it's first, and then you said that there was a lack of communication because with the people in the community and Edward Scissorhands, because he had scissors for hands. That's not a lack of communication portion of it. That's just like, I guess Edward came into a community in a town where they have never seen that before. So Edward just had scissors for hands, but he was they didn't like not communicate with
He was
anyone.
an outcast.
Yeah, pretty much. And the girlfriend just learned to see past whatever was on his hands and just see him for him. And Romeo and Juliet, despite they had to face their families, which is one of the toughest thing to do in a relationship, because both of their families were like at war with each other and they hated the other family. So they were like, yeah, you definitely can't be with them, and you can't be with them because they were different family members, and we're like, we hate them. You cannot be with people we hate. So they were testing the limits of love like that, going against their families, but yeah, it wasn't like either one of their father or mother said like, okay, either you're gonna pick us or we're gonna kill you. And they said, I would rather die. Like, I'll die for him for this way. They both.
It was a failed plan. Because wasn't
Yeah.
if I'm remembering correctly, the entire incident happened because they wanted to run away together. So she was like, I'm gonna fake my own death so my family doesn't come looking for me and we can live happily ever after. But then for some reason he didn't get the memo that she was faking her death so that they could live happily ever after. So he thought she was dead when she wasn't dead. So he was like, dang, well, if she's not here, I don't want to be here anymore. And then he died, and then she woke up and was like, dang, I messed up. And then she also died. So
So tragic.
I mean, Shakespeare did write tragedies. That's what he did. That was his
Yeah.
thing.
No one's saying that it's not a great thing, like great great movie, book, whatever, poetry thingy, whatever the heck it is. But I'm just saying that I would rather have a love story like Edward Scissorhands, because I'm still alive in either scenario. I ran away from the person that I care about, or I stayed, but my lover like killed someone who was hurting me. I don't know. Then be dead.
I don't know.
And then Vinny brought up a good point, which I agree with this wholeheartedly. There are plenty of better love stories than Romeo and Juliet and Edward Scissorhands. Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Okay. For sure. For sure. It just, in our conversation that came up, these were the two movies that we were debating. But there are definitely 1,001 better love stories than these two. Anyway, well, that was our final debate of this episode. We are out of time in that. But I can tell you, at least for myself, I love to debate things. So if you guys have any other topics or questions that you want to be debated or we want to talk about, hit me up, hit any of us up, let us know. We do have Zoom calls every Friday at 7:30. For now, until this quarantine can end and we can once meet again. But this Friday, we will not have a Zoom call. We will be on Instagram Live. We will be at a prayer rally that's happening in Mineola in front of the courthouse. It's open to anyone. You can come meet us there. But if you can't, tune in on Instagram Live. And I was going to say something else, but I don't remember. So we love you all very much. If you have any questions, hit us up. We're always available to talk. And we love and appreciate you guys. Stay safe. And we'll see you later. Later.